Hello, everybody. This is your host, Gabriel Phoenix, and welcome back to another action-packed day. As you know, my dogs were given a warm welcome in the beginning. Gotta love them. They always gotta say hi. They always gotta be part of the video. So, how are you guys doing today? Today we got another great build for you going on with the Undying. Undying is actually a really good character. I highly enjoy him. He is something that we like to use to counter. Definitely a big counter type hero. So let's get into it and let's go right into the build. By the way, if you have not played Lord of the Rings yet, there's a download link below in the description. Please download it, to support the channel. Also like and subscribe if you like these videos. I'm very happy to have everybody here and keep on doing this entertainment. As you see, I keep buying improved equipment for streaming, even though right now it kind of lagged right there. A little weird. Come on, Razer. So let's get into the video and let's dive in. All right. Oh, my precious. And I'm very excited. We're going over the Nazgul. So we already did Shadow, we did Witch King, we did Black Serpent, and now we're going to be going, well, Black Serpent is not a Nazgul, but we are going into Undying, who is another Nazgul. Now, Nazgul, as the Nazgul, there's a new one coming out. We will review him once he hits, and then we'll go over what we think you should build him as. So for Undying, he is a support type character. He's not really a heavy hitter. He doesn't really go in there and you can't really dive into a Undying and defeat like tons of armies like Witch Kings and Shadow, but you can counter greatly with him. And he does pretty decent amount of damage if you build him right. So, let's get in. Who is Undying? The Undying is one of the 9 ring wraith, bound to the One Ring. Through the Dark Lord treachery, he is the terror of those he is commanded to pursue. The Undying's real name is unknown, but it says he was a powerful king that lived during the Second Age, tricked by Sauron with the gift of a ring of power. Which, I learned today that we don't really know the Nazguls. We only really know 2 Nazguls, and then we know where some of them were at, and there's some that are unknown, which is kind of cool, because that means you can make your own king of own king of 9 and kind of play with it. And I think that's where Rise of Warlord is doing with the new Nazgul they just released. They kind of took something that they knew where it came from Ruin, and they are making a Nazgul King of 9 from just a little bit part. But there's actually no source materials on the backstories of anyone besides the Witch King and Kamal. So those are the only really 2 that we really know besides the video game, which kind of gives us a little bit about Shadow and Undying. Those are the 2 that we can kind of see. But back to this. So he was tricked by the gift of the Ring of Power. Gifted was a very long lifespan thanks to the power of his ring. Eventually he turned into a wraith more than 4,000 years before the War of the Ring. So it's kind of similar to the Witch King. He's deceived by Sauron's gift, turned into a ring wraith during the Second Age, fought in the War of the Last Alliance, and disappeared after Sauron's defeat. Reappeared in Mordor to capture. So it's similar. He follows a very similar to the Witch King's backstory, kind of like hand to hand, where he reappears and then he goes And then, of course, until the ring got destroyed and his bound soul with it. So, right there, we got the Undying. So, let's go into his stats. His stats are really not the best. Like, he has an amazing might. You can focus on might, but problem with him is that he really wants to have focus damage. With his build, he really wants to do focus damage. So there is a great thing that you can do for him. So I boost his might. Like I'm doing his Uruk-hai Orc with the Weapon of the Reckoning. The Weapon of the Reckoning does increase might speed. It gives to the Orc and Uruk-hai and men +1 attack. Plus, it does physical damage plus 4% on might. And that right there is actually really cool because you want to be able to boost that because there is a great way how to make a might build. And we're going to go over 2 builds today. And the next one I do is a Scout Mail. This right here is really easy to level up. It's an epic. It does boost your might and speed. And if you want to put range, you can decrease range. This one's really good to boost up the might. And then I put Warhelm. Warhelm will be good as focus damage, a might, and it also boosts Orcs defense. And Orcs will receive less damage. And here's another one boosting Orcs, more focus damage, speed, and Evil Men doing the +9 on Evil Men, which is really good for a good boost in speed. And then, of course, Evil Men will dealt damages plus increase on there. There's a reason I did that kind of build. I recently got into a lot of good units, and I've been studying more and boosting each and every commander and pushing their limits and seeing what units have been working well for that, because I've been fighting a lot of good faction, a lot of evil faction, and then I started realizing there's certain things, especially with the Nazgul commanders, that there's just hands down you got to put together. So let's go over some skills here. So right here we have Undying skill tree. The best one I like, now my Undying is level 40, of course you will have 10 more skill points in a level 50 build. I also have Respect level 5 because this right here is one of his best skills. It completely stops healing. There's just no way they will gain healing. So if you're having trouble fighting Gandalf or even the Elf Woman or any Eowyn's, the healing on the good faction, you want Undying because it is a hard counter. They will not be able to recover any HP, but at the same time, you'll be able to heal your ally for a significant amount of HP, which is 450 HP percentage on the 4th round. And even though you can't recover HP afterwards, I don't know why they did that effect. It's kind of a little bit of silly, but it is what it is. So it does a really good. Second Wind is really, really good, and the passive on it is incredible. Then, of course, you're going to put in your Undead Commander. He actually gives 60% Voidance on all physical damage for your whole army. Not like where Kamala's is the lowest defense. This is for your whole army. He's giving a 60% avoidance on all physical damage for the first 4 hits to sustain, which is insanely good. You cannot beat that. His damage, of course, reducing damage to 21%. Amazing as well. And then you, of course, you got the Ring Wraith. So you're boosting up about 26% on burn. Well, it's max 30. I'm going to max at 30. I just haven't done it. But this right here, I'm showing you is like 24 for any poison. And then you have the Screech. The Nazgul Screech is something that is a standard because it does stun and it does do continuous damage. See, and then of course his other ones like Chilling Edge, you don't want to really focus. This one we will get into in our second build because we're going to show you how a melee build for Undying, because it's actually, you're doing melee for two things. You're going to be doing two different melee builds. One is physical damage, the other one is focus damage. Right now, the whole format is so focused on focus damage for evil faction. It's almost kind of not. There's really no point to do any physical damage as evil faction, because the good alliance have so much reduction of physical damage plus high defense that you're really having a hard time trying to penetrate their force of wall. So this right here is the standard. So let's go into a good battle I had earlier with that. And we'll show you what kind of power this thing here. So on here, we're fighting a level 50. He has of tier 4, tier 3. It's gonna kind of wipe out all this, but I just wanted to show you what the anti-healing is and how powerful that is. So this is a level 50. So this level 50 Gandalf should have wiped me out. Clearly, I shouldn't have done that much damage to it, but because I do have his anti-heal on, Gandalf can't recover, so he sustained a lot of damage. Even against a level 41 with less troops, less power, and this guy is probably super powered up. So we're going to show you what this is. So there you go. Second wind's activated. Yeah, he cannot heal. There's the Screech. The wizard goes off. So he's going to keep on going forward. Look at that buff. He's going to buff. He gets into it. Boom. Does 3,000 damage here. Sustain. He heals for 0. Oh, that one healed. But well, how did that heal? That shouldn't have healed. He can't heal. But it did work the first one. The first one he didn't heal. Maybe it only applies for 1 per round, maybe. Or that might be a glitch. But pretty much he didn't heal at all for any of the damage that he sustained. Alright, so that does 11,000. He's going for doing 2,000. Boom. 8,000. Do 5,000 on Corsair. There you go again. He's healing there. That's got to be a glitch, though. He's not supposed to recover HP. Or maybe it's not recovering, it's just doing the heal and it doesn't recover? A little weird. Huh. Maybe that might be a glitch. Well, pretty much he's not supposed to heal at all. Sustain. Second win. Yeah, there's something going on. Wow. Actually, I didn't even know that. Well, and he's fully buffed up, so let me go back. I think you're not supposed to heal at all. Yeah, second win. Enemy units cannot recover HP. Huh. That might have been actually a glitch in the game. So let's just go into the build and stuff. I'll check that out. We're going to battle right now. We have Agnor here. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see a couple of battles. And that way you guys can see. But that wasn't supposed to be healed. But he still took the damage. It's a little weird. I don't understand what happened there. So our first setup with this is actually going to be Alchemists, Raiders, and Corsairs. This right here is actually really significantly good. One is your alchemists are melee units. So let's go into the main HQ here. We're going to go in here. So alchemists are actually labeled melee, so you can actually get them a boost because they do melee damage. Even though they do burning damage, as you can see here, normal attack deals 300 burning, and same as Corsairs, which is great because you'll get that extra benefit of the Alchemist doing the significant amount of damage on there, with the Corsairs doing burning. Now, Raiders is where you're going to shine a lot with Undying. They're just really good. One, they reduce damage. You also get a reduced damage in range attacks if you want to boost that up, because raiders right here, they are going to do significant amount of damage. The Undying ability is going to make them more sustainability, plus they're going to heal. So we're going to show you a second build that will go on for Undying. So right now, let's go into a battle here, so that way we can show you guys some nice playback. I think what we're going to do is we're going to cross over here. Oh. Can I actually hit here? Yeah, we're going to go support this guy right here. So, reality is that with... Yeah, I'm just looking over here. With Undying, he's actually a support type unit. If you saw my other videos, you'll know that with things like Undying or support type units, you want to send them in after somebody does an attack and they draw. So right here we have a fellow Mordorian attacking a Undor player. So we're going to be able to go and try to support him. And we are actually going to try to clean this up right now. What's going on here? It looks like these guys are going right here. So in 2 minutes, we'll be able to support him. Maybe he might be able to go. Actually, he's pulling back, so he probably didn't do that well in that battle there. So what we're going to do is we're going to send our Kamahl, and we'll send our Witch King as well, just in case. So we'll be able to win. So the idea of Undying is that you want to be able to put full support on him. You want to make sure he has a draw that is going to happen. Now, the other guy pulled back, so that kind of ruined the stack, which is fine. Well, we can handle with that. When the stack is kind of ruined that way, actually, let's retreat Kamahl, because my shadow is coming, and I don't want him to be bounced. You don't want him to be bounced, so I'm going to actually retreat Kamahl back in. So that little Agnor annoying guy right here, Mickey Two Shoes, and so he doesn't bounce back my guys, so that way I can be able to show you guys some stuff. So, Undying is going to go into battle. He's going to be touching first. Usually we don't want to do this. What we want to do is actually get a draw, then send Undying in to clean up. Having the proper Undying as a support type unit, you never want him to engage in battle first. You want him to always be a follow-up commander. Because as we see here, he's categorized as support, and there's a very good reason for that. As you can see, his build right here is not the best as far as it goes to stat-wise. He doesn't really have a decent amount of stats. Even if you gear him properly, he has a really good might, but everything else is not that good. Compared to the other ones, he kind of falls flat short. But what makes him amazing, what makes it up for all that loss, is his skills do actually do reduction a lot. So he's like a tank. So he is more steady as a tank. But we're actually going to show you guys how to build him as a damage dealer and how to make him significantly a lot better. And we will do that in a moment here. Once you go. Okay, so he's going to draw. He's going to go into this battle, so he wipes out that. Let's see here. So, okay. There you go. He wipes that out, but of course he's chronically injured. Yeoman's in here, so he takes out that. It's a little 31 land guard and a land guard right there. So he's able to wipe that Gandalf off. Gandalf the Grey! He's able to wipe Gandalf down because he is weakened. So Witch King's going to come in here. He's going to finish up the tile. And then that should give us a plus into winning that tile. Easy grab, easy win. So let's actually disable his draw. Bring him back over here. Look at these guys. They're all like celebrating here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat this guy back in. Boom. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how this build can work out using a secondary build. And then, where are you? Right here. And we're going to send him back to base. Why? Because I can. And I will use my gems the way I want to. So he's back into base. Let's go over here. Let's do that. That's going to fluctuate. 33. Finish all those guys. So that's pretty much the first build that you would do, is that you'll do your Corsairs, Alchemists, and Raiders. They actually do a significant amount of damage because of the boost and focus. So now let's show you guys another build. You do need a lot of skill points for it. I would recommend actually getting some more skill points for Undying if you're going to do this build, because it does require might. So what you want to do is you want to eliminate this, add Berserkers, and then you are going to add Dragoons. So it will be, actually, let me look at here. Power, damage 400. Actually, you wouldn't do that. You would have Ravengers. If you're Mordor, you will add Ravengers. If you're, of course, Agmar, you'll add Fallens. If you add Isengard, you add your tier 4. They're all melee units. There's not a single range unit in Evil Faction. So you'll add your tier 4 there. And from there, once you do that, you'll go here to your stats. We're going to reset him. Boom. And what we're going to do is, of course, you want your second wind. Second wind is very important. Right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to add this right here, which is going to add melee damage every round. Then you're going to add this, because you want the avoidance in there. Of course, you want the survivability and to give the speed boost. Okay. You're going to add Undertaker. You're not going to do 15. There's no necessary for 15. And from there, what you want to do is you're going to go and you're going to boost, of course, this. You'll do level 7 once it's max. And that's how you would build it, is that you'll get your Undertaker. You'll get your second win. You'll boost your melee. You'll boost your damage. If you don't want Undertaker because you don't think your commanders are going to be able to, do enough damage, if you don't have enough might, you want to, of course, get your might for his physical damage. You want to get his might up to as high as possible to 300. So focus on all might placement. You might want to replace your ring and put in something more like drums, or there's not a lot of like cool physical treasures, but yeah, you can boost it up. It'll get you close to about like 280 to about 300. You can do that, or if you wanted to, you can actually take that commander, and if you don't want to do the 15 on there, you can actually add the damage from range unit to reduce that, and then you can add in drain focus damage from enemy commanders. This is the case over time. That worked really well as well. So the whole idea is you want to be able to boost the damage. This build here will be primarily berserkers. You want to do primarily berserkers because berserkers, each round they actually lose damage. So with this, you're going to want to be able to put those berserkers and increase their damage each round so they don't lose that. So you're getting the full 20% increase plus whatever the damage boost that you're getting from there, and you're just going to keep fighting, and that's going to help you prevent from getting about three rounds of reduced damage. You'll start reducing damage on round 4, and that's really helpful. Another one you can possibly add if you would like. If, let's say, if you don't like Ravengers, you can add Reapers. Reapers are really good with him as well. For people, I don't like using Reapers, but they are really good with him because he does boost up their damage after round 5, and they do increase their damage dealt with the prioritizing on 100% with the, well, normal attacks 100% prioritized with the lower defense, so they have a right to attack actually the lower one, their melee units, so you're able to do damage instantaneously, but also round 5 and onwards until the end of the round they actually can do a lot more damage. I think this right here is about 50% damage, so it's a big boost on increase when you do have the max. I don't remember them gold because I don't use them a lot. I'm not a big fan of Reapers, but they are pretty good on Undying. They do work really well. And of course, you want your Raiders. Your Raiders, they just do more damage naturally with against mount units. And here, if you do Dragoon builds, I mean, I don't like Dragoons anymore. I've been using Dragoons, and I've just been so disappointed with them. They are good tankies, but definitely Ravengers are really good as well because their ability to attack all enemies each turn. And what you're doing is they are melee, so you're increasing their attack damage on those Ravengers, which is really good. You're increasing their melee damage to another 5%, and that's going to be 5% damage to all enemies. And right there, you're going to actually have a really good time hitting them hard. So that right there, I would definitely use with Undying, especially since each round they're gaining 5%. It's a 5% increase each round. So on round 3, it's a 20% boost. Same as with the Raiders. Now the Berserkers, pretty much with the Berserkers, you're balancing out so you don't lose those bonus damage that you get with them. And that way you can keep complying damage over and over and over, and you don't have to worry. But you can definitely make him do damage too, so he can be part of it. And each round they will each do damage. Pretty much that would be the physical build. If you don't like using Undertaker, I would just boost up all these to max. You know, get the damage, get the more tankiness, and then do the draining right here and just make them pure solid tank. And then you're doing just your melee units are just boosting, and they're able to do the damage. Right now, the way how good faction is, physical damage is kind of very hard, so it's best to stick with the focus damage. Do your alchemists, do your corsairs, get your raiders, be part of them. They all do melee damage. It's just because focus damage right now is really amazing, and there's just too much physical reduction that it's very hard. But it is a great build. I highly recommend building, getting these guys back to having that full drain of being focus damage drain on your enemies, which would be really nice, and then getting your full potential on boosting the defense and having that reduced damage and having no heals to your enemies. Even though that one video, it showed like they didn't heal, but they did heal. I don't know what happened there, because literally it says enemy units cannot recover HP. So that's something to keep in mind. There could be a glitch with the second win. I'm definitely going to submit the video to the company, seeing what they think about it and what their response to it. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I highly appreciate it. This is Gabriel Phoenix signing off, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.